Alright, we do folks. Pull Marcus 1225 numbers after the name. A little Type Tuesday action over here, man. Little games that come down to the to the wall, to the wire. Playing old school right here, man. This is I almost feel like going back, and I haven't done it, and I probably won't, obviously, because now it's a little bit mixed up because I've been playing a good amount of Duty lately. In between God of War sessions right now, though, straight up. But I almost feel like going labeling them pre-big update and post-big update, because it's really two different things, two different games that we're like playing over here, man. Like, I believe this is pre-update, and you'll notice I'll be able to like double tap my care packages and stuff, like all that crazy things that you used to be able to do back in them days. But either way, I am using the FG42, which I believe got a little bit of nerf. I believe got a little bit of nerf. I don't think it's consequential, but I believe it got a little bit of a nerf in this last update. But it still runs pretty smooth, even though I'm kind of thinking about retiring it, man, which I'm a little bit sad about. But I mainly use the FG42 on Gustav. It's literally the only map I use it now. I like the FG42. I'm just really used to the bar, and I think the bar is a superior weapon, at least for me. But I really like the FG42. I felt like pretty comfortable aiming it, especially at distances, which is why I like using it at Gustav. And it has almost like a 3-shot kind of kill radius that's like pretty substantial and whatnot, so I was pretty happy about that. I had it in my Gustav class. I used to run Mountain, and I used to run so I wouldn't be on like any maps or anything like that, except for when I shot. And then I used to run the FG42, so I could have the options of staying on the Gustav or off the Gustav and still feel like I'm putting in work. And I'd even pluck off some snipers, especially if they weren't like amazing snipers with the FG42. Something similar to what I'm doing right now, for example, where I know that they're kind of spawning here, but I'm just trying to stay elevated and not really poke my head out too much, except for that part where I did. So that's kind of the class I ran, but I'm thinking about retiring it now because you could run a suppressor on anything now, right? Well, not anything, but you can run a suppressor on any submachine gun without having to be attached to the airborne class. So I think I might go like super ghost now on the Gustav map, and I've always had a lot of success. And it's a little bit counterintuitive to how I would normally play Gustav, which is how I just described it. But I've always had a good amount of success coming completely up in people's faces on that map, whether it be with a shotgun, which has kind of been always crazy. The couple times I played with a shotgun for their contracts, just trying to get the camos or whatnot, and I would do well on Gustav, and I think I may even post up some footage on the channel of it. Like, I was like, word, like, this works. And I've also done a lot with the submachine gun, where I just kind of creep on, as long as you know the spawners, you know how to play it, and honestly, you could kind of loop your way around from like spawn to spawn, catch people off guard, win a couple of over there, especially with if you're running like the PPSH or even like the grease gun, something that could like give you a little oomph at distance. Pretty impressive with MP40, for example, the one that I like to use over there, man. So I'm thinking about rolling out a suppress class for there and just going straight ghost, like my only ghost, like true ghost setup, and seeing how that goes. I believe Mountain, I'm not 100% sure, but do you have to be moving in order for Mountain to work? I hope that they kept that like changed ever since like Black Ops 2. That to me was kind of the fix to what Ghost was. I mean, think about this, man. Back in the old days, you know what I'm saying? The difference was, and I remember in Black Ops 1, man, you were playing 6v6, right, TDM, and you'd put like a UAV up, or somebody would put a UAV up, and you'd see the dots, like each individual dot, and you could kind of like tell, because you saw so much of the map, not as like little as you do, for example, in this game. I remember times where I could kind of tell, be like, all right, there's 5 dots. That means there's one ghost somewhere. And you kind of like keep your eyes out for them, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I see 4 dots, 2 ghosts. And obviously the creme de la creme is when you put up the UAV and you see nothing. You're like, all right, 6 ghosts. Damn. And probably all sitting in corners. Damn. Like, double damn, you know what I'm saying? So, kind of take that with a little bit of a grain of salt for how it used to be back in the day and how far we've come. I don't believe that's the issue in this game. If it is, then I definitely haven't run into it. I also don't run into too many people playing Mountain. I run into a lot of snipers using Mountain and stuff like that, which I think is fine. But I don't know. These maps to me aren't big enough where Ghost will be a determining factor unless you are literally just camping in a corner and putting in work over there. But if you're doing that, then you might just want to have like suppressed like submachine gun and do that as well, because UAVs aren't like 100% predominant. I feel like UAVs are probably, if I were like to go and look, and maybe historically it's always been the case, it probably has been the case historically, that UAVs are the premier, not premier, but like the most used kill streak. I don't want to say like UAVs and care packages are probably like the two streaks that are used the most, just because of where they are and also their usefulness, right? So UAVs obviously tell you where everybody is. I mean, that's huge. The care package kind of gives you a random chance at something great, which if you can't earn that something great, having the opportunity to get it randomly is pretty dope. So, you know, it's something that I've always enjoyed. I've always been a big advocate for the care package, man. And most Call of Duties, I start off using the care package, and I kind of work my way off of it. In this game, honestly, I kind of stayed on it until this recent change where they didn't allow me to double tap it. And then I was like, ooh, I can't double tap it. Because I felt like the ability to double tap the care package, and then you can still do it if you use Blitzkrieg. That kind of changes like the whole kind of dynamic of the game and whatnot. I am using it now on TDM. I have a Blitzkrieg class on TDM. By the way, horrible artillery strike right here. I literally just called it right in front of me. I have a Blitzkrieg class that I use on TDM. And that one I still put the care package on because of the ability to reroll. Because there's a lot of not great streaks in this game, but when you re-roll it, odds are you'll get one that's like kind of decent, you know? So I'd get like a UAV or a counter, right? Which are useful in their own way, but I already earn a UAV, so I don't really like need that at all, so I'd pretty much double tap the UAV at will. And the care package, or the counter, I'd kind of go depending on what they're doing. So if they're putting up UAVs, then I'm going to keep the counter. If they're not, then not. But normally, I'd tap out of that, and you can't get like Molotov or something. You can't get like any of like the really, what I consider like crappy ones out of a care package. So your chances were like pretty good that you get something decent out of it, like something you could at least get a kill with, you know? Even if you got like a Predator or even a fighter plane, that's still like a kill or two less than that, than you've had to like quote unquote earn it. And for us that kind of run it afterwards, it kind of leads perfectly right into grabbing it and whatnot. So a lot of different stuff you could do over there. Very different in terms of how I play now with the kill streaks and whatnot. But I feel the care package to me has always been underrated and underutilized, with the caveat that it has to land on the ground and you might get clapped in the process. So be careful with that. Pray on the spawn, guys, that they help you out. Your boy Marcos. Deuces.